Today's episode of incredibly important information is essential education. It comes in the form of a combo demonstration. With Eternal Geras, you'll be comboing it to Sand Clone activation. You are now +7, and this will be their ruination. I'm going to demonstrate just how +7 is. The jump test never fails. With frame perfect timing, from +7 on hit, you can use your 7 frame stand 1 and jail the opponent, preventing them from even being able to duck under it. This is significant, because 1-1 is hit confirmable, 1-1-1 is an overhead, 1-1 low sand is a low, and this is a near 50-50 mix-up. One into command grab is a tick throw. 1-1 is safe on block. Even regular throw, which has 10 frame startup, will frame trap even Geras' 6 frame down 1 off of the setup. Here's what it looks like. Throw counter.
Poor choice.
And lastly, stand 1 to throw is a viable stagger pressure option. Because the mid-screen restand setup is +7, Geras' 11 frame forward 2 actually becomes a 4 frame move. There's nothing faster than 4 frames in this game. Not even Fatal Blow armor will be able to start up in time, if the Geras times their forward 2 perfectly. If the Geras uses forward 2 as an attempted frame trap and then ticks that forward 2 into command grab, the combo will still juggle out of the air. The result looks like this. It's a nice chunk. Unfortunately for Eternal Geras, if the opponent holds up to jump away from an attempted throw or command grab after the restand setup, forward 2-1-2 will not combo properly. That failure looks like this. The solution, if you'd like to safely and rewardingly use a strike as your mix-up option, is to go for forward 2-2 instead of the forward 2-1-2 string. It looks like this. %, and a potential brutality if that's the last hit of the match. We do this not just because forward 2-2 juggles properly, but also because forward 2-2 is very safe on block from up close. -5 at point blank. So in most practical situations, you're sacrificing between 7 to 9% damage, but your likelihood of landing the next hit exponentially rises when you do use this setup, because you have a 50-50 for high-low, you have a stagger throw, you have a tick command grab, and you just have the fact that your high 7 frame stand 1 is jailing to enforce all of those other options. So let's now review the damage differentials between the setup combo that this video is about and the situationally optimal combos that Eternal Geras uses. We're going to be using forward 3 as the baseline starter so that the scaling is always the same. So that's 224 on the setup combo. Now we're going to do the optimal damage combo. $312 on the optimal damage combo, which has no Oki whatsoever. Now let's see the corner carry combo in a situation where you reach the corner. That's 307 if you do reach the corner and get the command grab damage boost. Now if you don't reach the corner, it does this. $298. For reference, back 2 and forward 3 do the same amount of damage, and they're interchangeable in the corner carry combos. They also scale the exact same. So if you will reach the corner, you're losing about 8%, and if you want to do the optimal damage, you're losing 9%. If you know you're at the exact right spot for the Titan Tackle Crushing Blow, you get both the optimal damage and the corner carry. Your damage goes up by about 4%. So it looks like this. You also get a setup. Ultimately, I think any one of these combo ender choices is valid because the real buff that is applied to Eternal Geras when Sand Clone is out is what it does for him in Footsies. Geras' forward 1 is a giant advancing mid attack, but it's not safely hit confirmable in either of the other two variations, and it's not safely hit confirmable normally. But when the opponent is near a Sand Clone, which has a giant explosion radius, forward 1 suddenly becomes a full combo launcher so long as they're in that radius, and it also becomes plus 12 on block so long as they're in that spacing and you come off of that meter. Geras' forward 3 is another advancing normal with great utility, but it's also very unrewarding on hit. Safely, you can only do forward 3-2, the string that's -5, and does about 10% damage. Unsafely, you can do forward 3 into freeze, but there's no hit confirming if you're buffering that, and you risk being -23 and completely punishable. With a Sand Clone in the vicinity, suddenly this all changes. Suddenly, your 11 frame mid is plus 12 on block, and your 11 frame advancing mid with the benefit of a Sand Clone on them can also be a frame trap in itself. So if you want to take more damage and leave the opponent further away in order to guarantee that you can safely put a Sand Clone on them, it can still be absolutely worth it. If you know that the opponent will be hit into the Sand Clone, you can detonate the Sand Clone for 1 bar to get a more optimal punish or whiff punish than what you would have gotten if you spent 1 bar in amplified freeze. This is how the damage compares. So that's 333 so long as you're hitting the opponent into Sand Clone, which has a pretty large explosive radius. Without Sand Clone, you get this damage. So about 2% less. Unfortunately, there's no way to do a setup like this in the corner without switching sides and putting yourself in the corner, and to do so would make you lose too much of your potential corner damage anyway. So the alternative is this combo and this setup. You have 10 frames of hit advantage on that knockdown, and the Sand Clone is now inserted directly on top of the opponent. With the Sand Clone inserted on the opponent, you can pull off a lot of tricks with your saved meter. The Clone Eruption is plus 12 on block. This means that obviously your 7 frame stand 1 will jail into all of the options we've discussed before in the other setup. The other great thing is that it is a full combo launcher on block. So let's say people like to poke after forward 2-1-2 because Geras is -3. They want to get him off of him. You can now, instead of doing down back 1 to catch their counterpoke attempt and being unsafe and not getting much reward, you instead have the chance to interrupt their counterpoke attempt for a full combo or to be plus 12 on block. So I now have Geras set to do Reversal Fatal Blow on block. Fatal Blow armor comes out on frame 5, but there's not a big enough gap between forward 2-1-2 and the Sand Clone explosion. He will be stuffed. And in this case, he gets stuffed into a full combo 33% launcher for 1 bar, or plus 12 on block if he does choose to block. It is crazy. Crazy is a good thing in fighting games. So whether I'm analyzing crazy decisions made by players in my match analysis videos, We're putting out crazy technical content and tutorials that help advance the meta of MK11, Street Fighter V, or Guilty Gear. You'll be seeing a lot of crazy good fighting game content from me, so subscribe, like the videos, and boost me, because the more people that find it, the more advanced the whole community will be. Thank you for watching, and have a delightful day or an excellent evening.